Hello, hello, check. What's up? I am going to text my mods that were wanting me to come on live. Let's see. Just letting Trish know and Annabise. I texted them both and I was like, I'm trying to decide whether to do yoga or go live. And Annabise was the first to respond. She said, go live. But I'm a little tired, so sorry if I'm slurring my speech or acting goofy. I'm going to try to get my brain together. I always want to go live and I always want to do yoga. And I was just kind of feeling too tired to do either. So it's hilarious because I was thinking, if I go live, then I don't have to do the yoga. But if I do the yoga, then I don't have to do the live. Because usually I'm like wanting to do both, and sometimes I can, but it's just been crazy. It's the end of summer. What is it, like 10 days until the first day of school for my kid? And, she's been playing soccer. It's her first year at soccer. She's been a volleyball fall sport kid up until this year. She suddenly decided to switch gears. So any parent knows when your kid is in sports, it takes a lot of time just getting them to practice, picking them up, getting to the games, especially the away games. And there was an away game yesterday. There's an away game tomorrow morning, bright and early. So I'm going to give people a couple of minutes to find the live and try to get all set up with all my lights, camera, action, Jackson. Let's see. I'd like to try to get it centered so that you can see all the cool stuff. And I like it when this is kind of like where it transitions from the blue to the red is like right in the middle, the orangish red. I think that's good. I think it's good. What else? Hit your like button if you'd be so kind. I'm getting the lighting back there better, right? So you can see that it's a thumb right there. Okay, make sure you're still subscribed. If you are subscribed, turn on your notification bell to ring a ding ding, I like to say. Ring a ding ding. I think I actually got that from Brandam 3000 song called Drinking in LA. If you don't know it, I'll put a link to it in the description. Or if you do know it and you haven't heard it in a long time, check it out. Ring a ding ding. So when I say that, I'm like replaying that song in my head. It's an old favorite. Drinking in LA. Let's see. Turn on your notification bell to ring a ding ding and share a video of mine with somebody that you think would like my channel. So I'm always on the prowl for great new channels, even though I feel like I have an abundance of more than I can possibly keep up with. It's just one of those things, kind of like art. You're always looking for new inspiration. And I like to share with you guys the new ones that I find that I'm really digging. And lately, one of those has been the classic Codes. If you haven't checked him out, check him out. He just hit 10,000 subs. So he's actually having his 10K celebration party right now. And I'm like, I can't do it because I have to do my own live. That's the problem when you're a content creator. You have other content creators that you admire and you just have to do your own thing. And I think everybody understands because otherwise, there's just a lot of choices. So thank you for being here with me, Trish. I always want to say Patricia, but I try to remember to call you Trish. How are you, my dear? Everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something, be educational. All my videos are made for the tube of you. It's an infotainment platform. You're the best. How are you doing, my dear? And there's a light right behind my laptop that's kind of hitting me in the eyes, so I'm going to move it. Otherwise, it's going to mess with my vision. And trying to read what is on the screen in your chat. So that's weird. It doesn't usually do that. Somebody knocked it slightly. So it was tipping up and giving me the interrogation. And it might have been good for the set, but it was really bad for my eyes. So let's see. I always feel like it's a little bit dimmer on this side, which is fine. It doesn't have to be even Steven. I just want it to be reasonable. And, I like to wear my hat that Trish sent me. 4786, right? Damn. He's so effing crazy. This whole thing with Natalie Harp. Wow. He's out of his flippin' gourd. And, I haven't spoken these words before, and I don't think anybody has, and we all should be saying it. I wrote it down in case I forget. The man is so erratic, and he's so combative. Those are like two key features that you look for when you're doing a crisis and commitment evaluation for somebody who's a danger to themselves and or others due to a mental disorder. Erratic. What was the other one I said? Combative. He's so combative. He's always fighting everybody. And he's insane. He's completely insane. I think it was yesterday when he said, "I'm really good at polls." Was that the quote? I used it in the title. I'm very good at flagpoles. Really? And other phallic symbols? God. He's such a phallic symbol freak, like remember when he put of course everybody remembers when he put the reflection pool on like a poster board chart next to the Eiffel Tower and other tall buildings. Was it the Eiffel Tower? It's probably all American buildings. It was like maybe the Sears Tower and what two buildings did he do? Or three buildings? Did he do like the Washington Monument? The let's see, I'll just ask Google, my other brain. I'll ask my other brain, my electronic brain, the one that's more reliable. Sometimes, not always. What buildings did Trump compare the reflection pool to on his poster board? That was so crazy. When he does these little presentations, he always has to have a freaking prop because he's such a doofus. Our pool is bigger than skyscrapers. Let's see, Empire State Building, Sears Tower in Chicago, and the One World Trade Center. And that's really creepy to have the One World Trade Center. I was thinking it was that. I was like, no, he wouldn't do that. That's kind of like taunting people. That's sort of like when you did something with somebody's son and then you call them and say, "Oh, have you heard from your son?" Because that One World Trade Center, that is really twisted that he used that as one of his things. And I was thinking he did. And then I was like, no, that'd be too crazy. All this stuff is like too crazy. So today he was in South Carolina. I'll get to your comments in just a second, Trish. He was in South Carolina with Lindsey Graham's sister, and somebody was wearing a t-shirt that said, again, this is why I have notes, brain no worky. It said, "Unalive your local PDF." It was a black t-shirt with white lettering. Maybe I'll use a screenshot of that for my thumbnail. Unalive your local PDF, and I'll like obscure the unalive that starts with a K and ends with an L. And he was getting heckled, and he just didn't know what to do because his brain was more scrambled than mine, right? Wow. I mean, it is 10:30 at night. It is Friday, August 21st. And yeah, we had a nice big storm tonight. So luckily we still have the connection. Hello, everyone. Patricia's absolutely fine. Well, I like Trish because it's just, I mean, I like Patricia too, but once you said Trish, then I was like, I want to call you Trish. So if you're okay with either, I'll try to do one or the other or both. On my way home, my dog is limping. Oh, did you take your dog on a long walk? Is your dog old and just gets limpy after too many miles? We have one like that. The one who had cancer. How old is she now? We've been in this house for 12 years. So she's probably 10 or almost 11. She's probably almost 11. Um, so Coco, the one who had cancer, I mean, we got such a miracle with her cancer cure. And yeah, we just try to give her the best quality of life. We try to take her on as much car rides as possible and take her to the dog park as much as possible. You can just never give your dogs too much love. Like they're just like always wanting your attention and your affection, and they're so fabulous. I love the pets. My goodness. Oh my goodness, the crap that this madman in office is doing. I'm sorry, you guys. Did you hear about the wild horses that he's destroying? I'm really sorry. Trigger warning. If you haven't heard about it, it's gruesome. We have a lot of wild horses in this country. I went camping once, just, kind of in open space, and a stampede of wild horses passed by in the middle of the night. That was extremely scary. It's the only encounter I've had with wild horses. It was like 1987. I just moved to Olympia, Washington, and drove to Red Rocks. Is Red Rocks in Utah? I think. Yeah, I think it's in Utah. Anyway, drove to Red Rocks for a Grateful Dead concert, and then just camped near a river on the way back to Olympia, and the wild horses luckily didn't trample us to death. Wouldn't that be weird? And then, I mean, if you disappeared, and back then it would have taken so long, if ever we were found and identified, if we had been trampled. And then they would have thought it was serial unalivers, probably, because so much time probably would have passed. I don't know. That's wild. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. Okay. Hi, Jess. Patricia, everyone, my dogs would go forever. Oh, that's cute. So we're all dog people. Do you have cats too? Because I was a dog person all the way up until I was a teenager. And no, I was still a dog person. I became a cat person in my young adulthood. I became a cat person when I was about 22, I think. Yeah. And then I was simply a cat person up until having our first kid when I was 34. Then I became a cat dog. I love that character, cat dog, dog cat. I think it's cat dog, right? What is that from? It's hilarious. It's from is it from Ren and Stimpy? Cat dog? Again, let me ask the cell phone. I can't do all this loose association right now. I can't keep up with my brain. My brain can't keep up with me. What is the cat dog character from? With this whole thing with Grandpa Jerry with the Nolan Wells case and the CETO call, and Grandpa Jerry calling to cancel the rescue. I just want to call them all Uncle Grandpa. Oh, it's a Nickelodeon animated TV series called Cat Dog. So that was the name of it. Yeah. Conjoined twin brothers who are half cat, half dog. Speaking of twins, this whole thing with the Carmelo Anthony case, my goodness, that guy, the victim, Austin Metcalf, it's really sad, but him and his twin brother were deranged. And it's almost like his twin brother, forgive me, but it's just the truth. It's almost like his twin brother got him unalived. It's almost like he got himself unalived because it was self-defense. And those two have a rap sheet. I forget how many pages, like 20 or 70 pages. I mean, they'd been getting arrested since they were young children. They were attacking girls, boys, like hitting in the stomach, in the face. Austin Metcalf strangled his freaking mother. It's documented. He strangled his freaking mother, and that was completely left out of the first trial. I mean, those boys were violent and racist, and they would do graffiti and vandalism, and they were into Hail Adolf and the Klan, and just like genocide with people with melatonin in their skin. I mean, whoa. And then the taunting that he was doing on the day that he died from a sharp edged object. It's not like you want to blame the victim, but the victim was, in my opinion, Carmelo Anthony. I never realized that until the last couple of weeks. I really didn't know much about the story, and it seemed like it was so straightforward. And then when people started, you know, when I started finding out more information, I was just like, no, that just doesn't sound right. But it is. I mean, the whole thing was just like backwards. Carmelo Anthony was like the team captain of the track team. He was the team captain of the football team. And, you know, he was trying to get shelter from the rain. And Austin was amped up. He wanted to attack somebody. And he did. And then he got attacked. It's very sad. And I'm sure his brother realizes that he's responsible, but he's going to try to pretend that he's not. It's going to make him crazy. Crazier than he was already. I mean, they've both been suspended, I think, every single year, like 8 years in a row. I'm pretty sure. I've been watching several different channels going over their rap sheets, and I'm just like, my God, my brain is just like, I mean, the system really failed those two. And then, you know, to be twins and to be like evil twins and to freaking choke your own mom. If you're going to cross the line to choke anybody is huge. If you're going to attack your own mother and then just being vile with teachers, zero respect for women, complete misogynists, but just zero self-respect, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, my dogs are in heaven. Oh, Annabees, I'm sorry. I was going to say that sounds scary. You guys were lucky. We were really lucky. But there was something about this guy's name was Bill, and you know, we kind of dated for a while, but it was a very weird dynamic. And the thing with the horses is emblematic of that. And then when we got back to Olympia, we were just out hiking in the neighborhood on the Puget Sound, like on an asphalt road. We'd been down at the beach and we were walking back up to my apartment, and we started hearing, it was getting dark, and we heard these sounds that sounded like somebody chopping wood. It was like boom, 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 boom. And then, like, I'm not joking, like flames shot up next to us. Like we started to get really scared because we're like, oh my God, is there like a mad axe murder out here? This is just like a day after the Mustang, the wild horses thing. And then maybe 2 days. And then, like I said, we saw this like explosion of like fire, like right next to us as we're running, and we ran to the first house and we knocked on the door. And, you know, we were 100% sober. We were 100% sober. We weren't like partying or anything like that. And the people whose door we knocked on were like not buying our story. They thought we were like on rugs or something. But then a fire truck came down the hill a little bit later. You know, we were talking to them on the porch, and we're just like, we're really scared. You know, can you call 911? Like, we don't know what's going on. Is there somebody out here? And it turned out what had happened, but it was dark, so we had no idea. This gargantuan tree had fallen. It was falling right next to us as we were walking up the hill on the asphalt. And as it was falling, it was hitting a power cord. taking the power cord down. So what we were hearing, like the sounds that sounded like an axe, were actually like the roots ripping up out of the ground. I mean, this was a huge evergreen tree, maybe, I don't know, 40, 50 feet tall. And it just came down next to us. I mean, it could have come down on us. And then when the power cord hit the ground was when it like exploded and was the flames. And like I said, these poor people whose door we knocked on thought that, you know, we were like hallucinating Satan or something like that. It was so wild. So it was very reassuring when the fire truck got there and figured out what happened and told us, because we were just like, what the F? And we did not date very long. Like, I think I saw both the horse thing and the fireball thing as like signs from God that I should not be hanging out with this guy. He was just kind of, I don't know, he was kind of a bum. I mean, he's like a snowboarder bum. He was a trust fund puppy. His dad was a eye surgeon or something from Pennsylvania, from Pittsburgh. And he was just spoiled, kind of like that person Biffy I was telling you about in my last live. Oh my God, college connections. Trust fund puppies are the worst. The worst. Kids of doctors. Funny, because all the kids in the Nolan Wells story are, not all of them, but most of them are kids of doctors. Oh man. Funny, not funny. Okay, I'm going to stay caught up because this is why I come live, is so I can interact with my friends. I love you guys. Thanks so much for coming out and hang in. And yeah, what are you guys up to this weekend? I only have 2 cars right now. Oh, 2 cats. I'm like, you have 2 cars? You're lucky, because me and my husband are still sharing our car since I had to leave my Subaru in Washington, D.C. when it blew a gasket. And we're just now like getting the insurance money for it. Not a lot, because it's just scrap, you know. It's a nice Subaru too, an Outback. It's really sad to see it go to Subaru heaven, car heaven. Don't you get attached to your cars? But yeah, you said I only have 2 cars right now, but you meant 2 cats. Just a little typo. There you go, cats. There's the asterisk in the fix. The fix is in the correction. I back. See, I love talking like that. We back. I back. That was funny. We still here. Wild horses being rounded up and shipped live for slaughter off of public land by Trump at $25 per horse. Big Hook, I'm glad you know all about it. And yeah, I'm trying to stay focused on what I was talking about with that for people who don't. I only heard about it today, and it immediately grabbed my attention. I immediately started researching it. I was like, damn, that's disgusting. So it sounds like it costs the taxpayers like $4,000 each wild horse that's rounded up to then sell it for $25 to these people that flip the horses to Canada or Mexico for like $75. And then they, what do they call them? Like, it's just like a kill thing. There's a name for it. Kill something. Kill sale or kill bill or whatever. So they just use them for food. There's a lot of countries, I guess, that people eat horse meat, which is just one of those things that just makes us Americans cringe. And then they can use it for dog and cat food, for animal feed, which is also disgusting. And then they use it for leather, for shoes and clothes and belts and bags, and that makes you not want to use any leather. And glue and gelatin, and nothing goes to waste. It all gets used. And, you know, it's like, okay, on an animalistic level, okay, you know, like that's part of the life cycle and nature. But oh, it's just disgusting. It's just so disgusting. And this damn administration that just has to ruin everything, right? And then when it comes to animals, it just, I mean, it's cringe-worthy, of course, with the ICE detention centers, but there's something about animals that just goes straight to your heart. You know, I guess because animals are so defenseless. Sometimes humans are too, but oh, it's just vile. It's vile AF. He's just such a damn effing monster. When the hell is he going to stop and get put in a freaking prison? He's erratic. He's combative. He's a danger to himself and others due to, I don't know if it's due to a mental disorder or if it's just due to being a spoiled effing brat. But that Natalie Hartman, she's a danger to herself and others too. And who in here thinks that she might be a honeypot, that she might be a spy? I mean, whether she is or she isn't, she's completely nuts. And the whole thing is completely nuts. What the F, man? Our country is gone to hell in a handbasket. My dog and cat hate each other. Oh, that's so funny. I know, but then like they don't realize that they love each other. Nolan's case has become an obsession. Yeah, it's a fascinating case, and he just deserves to be alive. And the people that wronged him deserve to be publicly flogged, in my opinion. So let me read everything here. Is she ignoring the chat as per usual? Oh, big hook, big hook. Of course. It's so hard to read the chat and to complete your thoughts and sentences and look at your notes all at the same time. But I love it. I love the challenge. I mean, normally I do. I'm tired right now, so I'm worse at it than normal. So forgive me. I apologize. I'm gonna keep reading though, because it's more fun if I'm caught up. It's annoying when I'm behind. Let's see. So yes, you caught me. I'm ignoring the chat a little bit, but no, of course not. Hey, Big Hook. Hi, and suspension of disbelief. I haven't listened to anything about that case. Oh, the Anthony, Carmelo Anthony. It's as fascinating almost as the Nolan Wells case, but they really tie in together. There were some major things that happened in the Carmelo Anthony case. I want to say 10 days before the Nolan Wells tragedy. And there's people online who believe that the Nolan Wells tragedy was kind of like a tit for tat. But I honestly, at this point, think that they planned the Nolan Wells thing for an entire year. I think they gang stalked him for an entire 12 months. And I need your guys' help in finding the part of, I think it's an interview with Ray Spadum Tap. I'm going to start calling him Ray Spadum Tap Dancing Tatum. Or, let's take a vote. Or former public relations officer Tatum, because he's not a former officer. And I like that people call him former officer Tatum as opposed to officer Tatum, but he was a public relations officer. So let's call him what he is. And he hasn't been for a decade almost. I think it's been 9 years. So it's not like once a public relations officer, always a public relations officer. I mean, that's like with president of the United States, once president, always president, you know. Anyway, no. So he's former public relations officer Tatum. I think it's in the third interview with him where the words come out of Warren's mouth where he says, we've been planning this 4th of July for an entire year ever since July 5th last year. And I have been watching, you know, because I wanted to rewatch those interviews anyway of Ray Spadum Tatum with the 3 suspects, Jax, Morgan, and Warren. And then the first 2, Jimmy Bob, the attorney with the Call Cox on his hat, is there, but he's not there for the third one, which is like the longer one. That's like almost an hour. The other two are about that long put together. But I can't find that part. And so now I'm thinking, is it in another interview? But I watched them on double speed because it is so hard to listen to Ray Spadum Tatum talk. He's the worst. And he talks really slow. So having him on double speed makes it a lot more palatable. But if you guys want to help me find that part, it's really important, especially because I mentioned it in Classic Code's chat last night, and he really wants the timestamp. He wants the video. And I told him I thought it was in the third one and that I'd try to find it with the timestamp, but I'm not 100% sure it's in the third one. But I know that Warren said it. And he said he had some kind of app that he can run it through. Like he can ask the app. And I was like, damn. And I think I wrote the app down. But I am getting caught up with you guys. I'm not ignoring you. Big hook, big hook. Let's see. Miss M. Nolan's case has become an obsession. I know, it's so much like Kylie's, isn't it? Doesn't it? I mean, in a sense, it almost like feels like home because we, those of us that were so hardcore with Kylie and are still so hardcore with Kylie's, because she did not fucking drown, jerks. And no, the whole thing was just complete effery. Invisalign imagination running. I've been putting my Invisalign in and taking it out all day. It's so annoying. And so, yeah, I had put it in. I was going to do yoga instead of a live. And then Anna B said, go live. So I was like, okay. But now I have to take my Invisalign out. But yeah, I'm kind of hating that thing. Ugh. But I'm good with taking care of it and doing what I'm supposed to do. My phone is effed up. Have to leave and go into settings. Bye for now. Well, thanks for letting us know, my dear. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Don't mess with Mother Nature. And sorry, my nose is itching because the situation with the fan on me. And they didn't hear all that. Oh, the people with the tree falling. It is weird that they didn't hear it, but they were inside their house. And it wasn't that far from where we knocked on their door. It was not far at all. So yeah, it is weird that they didn't hear it. They were probably watching TV. It was getting dark. It was probably like late August. So it was probably like 9:00 at night. And I bet they were watching TV, and that's probably why they didn't hear it. That was a big warning, Jazz. You had to get the hell away from Bill or kill Bill. Like I said, he was just kind of a bum. He was a snowboarder bum, and I had to get away from him. He was not my cup of tea. And yeah, those were interventions from the Mother Nature, right? The wild horses and the tree. Because I've never had a tree fall by me before or since. And I've never had any wild horses nearly trample me before or since. I think there was a third thing too, but now I can't remember what it was. I'll have to think. Oh, think. Oh, I have been on dates with trust fund dudes. They were such losers. I know, and he was cute, and I liked the whole like snowboarding, like kind of like being a ski bum. Like he was really good at it, and it was, he was one of the people that kind of helped make it a profession. Actually, I mean, he was obsessed with it because he was a doctor's kid. He could do that, but man, it pisses Dr. Dad off so much. He didn't want to be supporting a ski bum. He wanted his kids to become doctors like him. And the other siblings were doing like what their dad wanted them to do, and they were just lavished with everything you can imagine and really expensive schools. And then, he was always complaining that he wasn't getting the nice cars and that his tuition wasn't nearly as much as his siblings. And so he should have an even nicer car. I was, and he just not my cup of tea. I was very independent. I paid all my own bills. I bought my own car. Um, I was very responsible, and yeah, he was a pain in my butt. But the Red Rocks concert was cool. Let's see. Um, the lesbian mobile was too expensive to fix. Thank you, Big Hook. Yeah, that's the big joke with the Subarus. They're like, yeah, it's sort of like the song YMCA for the guys, right? And for our president. So today, when he was in South Carolina getting heckled, he was talking about how much the gays love him and how he's gotten more votes from the gays than anybody in history because he plays the gay anthem. And I'm like, just come out and say it, dude. We all know. I mean, you guys have seen the picture of him in the knee high socks and his cute little like schoolboy outfit, the blue shorts with the matching blue blazer from the 80s. And that's a real photo. And then, he hung out with that guy, Roy Cohn, who only hung out with gay guys. And that was, they didn't just hang out. That was his mentor. That was his lawyer. And he worshiped Roy Cohn. And Roy Cohn wasn't going to give you the time of day if you weren't doing it with dudes. So what does that tell you? If you haven't seen that movie, The Apprentice, that'll school you on all that crap. Yeah, my lesbian mobile was too expensive to fix, but it was my husband's car. Initially, I had a minivan, and then my son killed the minivan, and then when we got the Pilot, the Honda Pilot, my husband wanted to drive the Honda Pilot, so then I inherited his lesbian Subaru. You're funny, Big Hook. Thank you for that. Too funny. Let's see. Our city manager got fired today. Like, I told my husband, I said, you should apply for the job. He'd do a good job, but because then he could like clean up the city and the police department. But he doesn't want to do it. Anyway, I don't know what he got fired for either. Oh, where was I? Where? Here we are. After the lesbian mobile. That cracks me up. Horse trailer arbitrage is the word for animal butchery. Ugh. Well, and now it makes me rethink when I see horse trailers on the freeway, because I kind of am like a little kid when I see horses and the things on the freeway. I'm like, ooh, horses, how fun. And now I'm thinking, oh my God, are they going to slaughter? It's gross. Buffalo will be next to go. Oh, man. Well, what about the moose in Alaska? I mean, that's what's so gross about this administration is they just want to pillage all the natural resources. They just want just money, like Mr. Krabs. Our president is like Mr. Krabs. And I wrote it down in my notes in case I forgot, because it made me think Natalie Harp is like plankton from SpongeBob. Natalie Harp is plankton. We all know Stephen Miller is Squidward. That's obvious. And I think JD has to be Patrick. I was almost thinking JD was SpongeBob, but then I'm like, no, he's Patrick. He's definitely Patrick. I don't know who SpongeBob is. Maybe we're SpongeBob, us normal people. But yeah, Natalie Harp is plankton. She's the spy. Douchebag Donnie is Mr. Krabs. Money. Well, and then you have the squirrel. Who would be the squirrel? Would that be like Oh, I don't know. Caroline Levitt. I mean, this whole thing with Caroline Levitt quitting and that whole thing with the airplane and um, the food catering escape. Oh man, so much drama. That's the thing about this Trumpster fire is he is like a freaking soap opera. Like he can't just like do the boring work. He's got to have all the baby mama llama drama. Oh my God, he is such a hysterical individual. You know, like they like to ascribe that word for women, and he takes the cake, man. He's a hysterical nut. And you know what the word means is wandering uterus. Hysterical means wandering uterus. That man is a wandering uterus. Okay, let's keep going. Let's stay caught up. We're so far behind. It is 10:58 and I am almost 15 minutes behind on the comments, man. I got to get going. All that is really gross. We need leather for shoes and to keep warm, but the way they are doing it is awful. Exactly. Yeah, it's gross. And we could, I mean, I do like leather, but we can come up with alternatives. But then those aren't so healthy either, right? Um, Trump is knocking down trees and destroying the environment once again to put up more unnecessary border fence. Well, and what is the thing with oak trees? Because he's destroying a lot of oak trees. I want to say in Mississippi, they're destroying a lot of oak trees for developments. This whole thing with Ocean Shores ties right into the Trump administration. And like I was saying in my last video, the Koch brothers and, you know, they, that public land of Horn Island, they sold, I think, 100-ish acres a few years ago. And whose parents bought some of the land on Horn Island that was federal property? Yes, Bart. Bart's daddy bought some of that land. I bet you Warren's daddy bought some of that land. I bet you Angel Myers McGillrath. So it's Mickelrath, I think, like rhymes with nickel. I think that would probably be the right way to say it, Mickelrath. But I like McIlrath because she seems like she's not good. She does not have good intentions, in my opinion. So what was I going to look up? I said so many things just now about, let's see your comment, and I got to get caught up. I know. The trees, the oak trees. I was going to ask, what do oak trees symbolize? Because it makes me think of that old song, Tie a Yellow Ribbon Round the Old Oak Tree. So symbolize a powerful universal symbol of strength, longevity, endurance, and wisdom. And they're chopping them all freaking down. Because it can live for hundreds of years and withstand severe storms, many cultures view the oak as a steadfast guardian, a connector between earth and sky, and a sacred embodiment of resilience. And other people just cut them down because they want a helicopter pad or some crap. Core symbolic meanings. Okay. Mythical and cultural association. Thunder gods, Celtic tradition. Awesome. Okay. But we're staying caught up. Remember, that's the main focus at the moment. But yeah, thanks for that big hook. See, that's why I love keeping up with your guys' chat, because you guys keep me focused. Keep me on the straight and narrow, because my brain just goes all these different directions. But, you know, you got to let it rip, right? I mean, that's my whole thing. It's just like, just be yourself. Follow your inspiration. I think that's a good way to live. And the year before Nolan went also. Okay, I don't know what that means. That's 15 minutes ago. So the year before Nolan went also. You mean the year that they were planning this thing? Well, I think that they befriended Nolan that year, and he was away at college, but he probably came home on the weekends a lot. And I think that they were hanging out with him on the weekends, even taking him out to Horn Island to kind of desensitize him to it, because Horn Island was a white people thing. And I don't think a lot of black people would feel comfortable going out there, especially on the freaking 4th of July. All those flags and people down there into the Confederate flag, man, it's nasty. It's nasty shit. I can't stand race baitum Tatum. I know, I love the people that call him race baitum tap dancing Tatum. McDonald's is not getting the job done. Oh, Big Hook, I wish Mother Nature would do something to that SOB. I know. Hey, Josh, what's happening? Thanks for coming in. Sorry it took me so long to say hello if you're still here after me ignoring you for 13 minutes. How rude. At least the other people in chat weren't ignoring you. Yes, they usually are. Hey, Jolie. Oh, where's Jolie? Hey, Jolie. I saw the hands, but I didn't see the name. What's up? Nice to see you. Josh sees is eating duck. He's got a fountain, a heart. It looks like a knife and a fork, and bread and duck, I think. Lightning strike on the helicopter he rides would be a worthy ending. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there was something that just a couple days ago about another helicopter and plane colliding. And I want to say that there was at least one fatality. But it was some kind of like military or government. One of the crafts was, I just couldn't even look, because I'm just like, these things can happen, those things happen, but all this crap seems to happen a hell of a lot when Donnie's around. And then he repeats the same crime too many times in a row. That's what makes it so suspicious. And yeah, I think he's behind a lot of this crap. And again, it's all to distract from those pesky Trumpstein files. And how weird it was that there was hashtag Trumpstein and hashtag Trumpstein files, and then they got scrubbed, so it wouldn't hashtag anymore. That's hilarious. It always makes a Streisand effect. You know, all these channels on TikTok that are getting deleted because they're covering Nolan Wells' case, and the Oracle dude owns TikTok. The Oracle brothers. What are those creeps' names? Is that Larry Ellison and his sons? That they own Oracle and they own TikTok, and there's heavy ties with them with Ocean Springs. I mean, who knew this little town of Ocean Springs in Mississippi is such a hub of white people Republican crap? Okay, I'm getting caught up. I am. But I agree with that, Big Hook. Yeah, absolutely. I wear turtle toes. I swear Turtle Toes is stalking me. I don't know who Turtle Toes is. Turtle Toes? Am I supposed to know what that is? Schoolboy outfit? Yeah, totally. You said it better than I can say it when I'm half asleep. Hello. I remember driving past a cattle trailer that had the final ride painted on it. Ew, that's gross. Why would they do that? It's twisted. The squirrel was nice, though. The squirrel on Donnie's head. The roadkill that he used to cover his bald spot. I don't know what you're talking about, hon. Jolie Anapy's Big Hook. Unhappy trails for all those horses. McIlrath sounds better. I know, but I think, it's like I struggle with words sometimes. And that was one that I kept struggling with because everybody says it differently. McGillrath, I think rhyming it with Mickelrath is probably the most accurate that I can think. And, and then you need to hear like her say her own name, or people that live there that know her well and are familiar with it, and then you'll know how it's supposed to be said. But McIlrath totally works because she's not acting in good faith. I mean, that letter that she wrote to Nolan Wells' parents demanding the phone, she wrote that letter at 9 minutes before midnight, whatever day she wrote it, like a few days ago. 9 minutes before midnight, demanding to have the phone in her possession. Not the next morning, but the morning after that. So it was like less than 30 hours. So that's why people say between 24 and 48 hours. It was less than 30 hours. She was demanding the phone. They already had an agreement. And it's like, it was just kind of like a cheap trick. Like, oh, well, if they go for it, great. They probably won't. But she's then using their not relinquishing the phone to her demand as on her part, a bad faith illustration of their bad faith. So she's accusing them of acting in bad faith. And if you've ever been involved in a court case, acting in bad faith is a very serious accusation that can hose your case completely. You have to cooperate and act in as good faith as you possibly can. I mean, you're in a contentious situation if you're in a lawsuit situation. So there's nothing about it that's good faith, but you have to play along and be cooperative, or there's not going to be any movement. The system can't work if both parties are not acting in good faith. So for her, in bad faith, when she knows she's lying and she's accusing these grieving parents of acting in bad faith, like, especially with her having lost a child 9 years ago, and then, just losing the dog that her little girl was so attached to. That dog died this last Christmas. And it sounded like it had like a incident that unalived it. Like I don't know. It sounded like it got squished or something. It was a bunch of Facebook posts. Like all the information that I know about her, I know just from what I have found online. And at first I thought that she had been dating the lead detective in the DA's office before she married him. And that's how she got the promotion to DA. And then I thought, well, maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but I'm pretty sure she was screwing the lead detective in the DA's office. And that's how she got the promotion to district attorney, because she was appointed. She was not elected the way you're supposed to be. She was elected, or she was elected at the following election. But she was appointed because the guy who was in that position vacated it early to take a judgeship. And so she was appointed by the governor. That's a different governor than the one they have now. But, that's nepotism. And she was screwing the lead detective in the department that she worked in. She was the lead of the Child Protective Services Division, which you would think would give her a lot of passion around finding out what happened to an 18-year-old that went out to party with his friends and is dead. Like, that was her thing. That was her shtick. That was what she built her effing career on. But I've seen people who have built their careers on things like that are the complete opposite. There was a judge in King County named Bobby Bridge, a female judge named Bobby Bridge, who was the most sexist piece of shit bitch you can imagine. She built her entire career on like women's issues. She was the complete opposite. And then she was shit-faced drunk driving down the street in her neighborhood and hit a parked car, and all of her neighbors like corralled her and wouldn't let her do a hit and skip, and she got arrested for the drunk driving. But anyway, I've seen that with other people too, like being like the child protective services expert or being like the domestic violence expert, and then being like Drew Peterson, that Chicago cop who kept unaliving all of his wives. I mean, he was not a domestic violence expert, but I've seen that in police departments where the domestic violence expert detective is a perp of DV. And a really good TV show about that, you guys, that I haven't talked about in a couple of years is called Chance. And it's about that exactly. So it's really good for us folks who like true crime, because it's Hugh Laurie, you know, the brilliant guy from House. He produced it. He stars in it. And he plays a psychologist who falls in love with a DV victim who is married to a homicide detective. So anyway, okay, reel it in, right? Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, so Nolan went to Horn Island on the 4th of July last year. Did he? I don't know. I don't know that he's gone there on the 4th of July. They took him out there like 3 or 4 times this year. And then they even tried to use that as a defense of, well, if we were going to kill him on Horn Island, wouldn't we have done it when we took him out there and there weren't many people there, as opposed to the day when there's like 1,000 people there? It's like, that's not a really convincing defense. Like, what are you talking about? No, you wouldn't. Not if the whole thing was like ceremonial and ritualistic and like a occult kind of initiation, hazing, sacrifice kind of thing. No, then you would do it in front of everybody, right? Jackass, Warren. Those boys. They're just even more annoying than that guy Bill that I dated. And they might even be more annoying than Biffy. See, this is so therapeutic for me. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for putting up with all my random thoughts. It's very healing for my life trauma. Okay. And yeah, I was talking about doing like a psychotherapy type of thing, but we'll talk about that when I'm not half asleep like I am right now. Okay. Never get rid of a healthy oak. They're great for local critters. Oh, I know. Why are they? And see, these people in Mississippi are cutting down all their oak trees. They're doing it, and they're protected oak trees. But see, they're doing it because the same things like the Trumpster fire. They're building like Riviera on Ocean Shores beachfront. And I'm wondering if that's what they were going to try to do with Horn Island. If they were going to try to develop it, because I mean, it's not really a good idea because it's just a sandbar, but I guess if you're prepared to lose everything in a hurricane, I guess it's good for, you make good insurance money off of that. I don't know. But yeah, Angel McIlrath is definitely doing some shady business with development in that area, in my opinion. Okay. That's what Warren said in that same interview. I didn't catch that part, Annabise. If you can find it and timestamp it for me, I would be very appreciative. I didn't catch him saying that they took Nolan there the previous 4th. He said that they've taken Nolan there 3 or 4 times recently before the 4th of July. And I think that they spent the whole year gang stalking him and grooming him and then desensitizing him to going out to Horn Island to try to make it seem normal, so that when they took him out there on the 4th of July, and then they were like, hey, we'll bring a couple other people that aren't white, so you'll feel more comfortable. And then remember, they split up the three that weren't white, Tristan, Javon, and Nolan. Javon said he thought he was going to be riding on the same boat with Nolan, but they wouldn't let him. They were like, no, that boat is full. You're over on this boat. So, like, why were they separating them? And then separating them from their phones? Like, were they going to try more than Nolan? I think it's a valid question. I think it's effing crazy. And then the whole thing with, the police that night going straight to the judge's house. Straight to the judge's house. It almost makes me think that he was being stored there. Turtle Toes. Oh, Jolie is Turtle Toes. I think I vaguely remember something about that. That's what Warren said in that interview. Yeah, if you can send me that, because I did not catch that. But I might have missed it. I might have misinterpreted it. The squirrel and SpongeBob. Yeah. There you go. The squirrel. Sally. Isn't her name Sally? She's great. But yeah, all the SpongeBob characters are awesome. You know, Squidward, Plankton, Mr. Krabs, Patrick. I mean, we all know people that are just like those characters. Just the whole Krabby Patty thing. Just being so happy to flip burgers, right? It's just like the perfect metaphor for trying to buy into consumerism and the American dream. It's like, if I can just flip burgers for the rest of my life, I'm so happy. Make money for the man, for Mr. Krabs. McIlrath is heartless. Yeah. And again, her ex-husband, he took his own life 2 years ago, which it just makes me rethink the whole thing. Like, her and her ex-husband were divorced already when their little girl was diagnosed with the cancer, which was like February of 2017. And their little girl's name, their nickname for her was So-So. And so with Nolan's nickname being No-No, you would think that might even pull a heartstring, right? But I guess she only has compassion for white kids, not for kids that aren't white. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't have compassion for kids other than her kid, or, that was her only kid. That's her only child. She was 7 years old. She passed away before her 8th birthday. She passed away in the fall. And it was just a really bad year. And Angel was planning on marrying Scott McIlrath in March. The diagnosis was in February, and they went ahead with the wedding in March. I don't hold that against them. But now I'm wondering, question, did she leave her husband for the guy in the office that she had designs on that helped get her career on the fast track? I think that's a very valid question. And then her ex-husband worked for FEMA, which is interesting. That's more of a compassionate type of industry. And I don't know if he worked for FEMA when they were hit with Hurricane Katrina. I looked all that up. I think Katrina was 2005. And so they were divorced before 2017. The little girl would have been born in 2010. So they might have been together, and he might have been working for FEMA when the hurricane came through there. I don't know. I've met some horrible women. Oh yeah, women can be more misogynistic than men. Just like Race Batum Tatum is like more racist than Trumpster fire. I mean, it's funny, not funny. It's like laugh or cry. Racist appointment leads to incompetent people who F up repeatedly. Well, and when they're just buffoons or corrupt. So it's like, are they incompetent or are they just so crooked? And they will pull the buffoon card because they're not going to say, yeah, I'm just a villain and I did all this corrupt stuff. They're going to be like, oh, I didn't know that I wasn't allowed to screw the lead detective in the office and get the promotion to DA. Like that just happened. I don't know. I have a thing against people that screw their way to the top. I have a thing against people who, I mean, it's manipulative. It's like, would she have married him if he wasn't the lead detective? So they were married for like a year before she got the appointment to the DA position when it opened up. But he resigned the day she was sworn in, so it wouldn't look like, an impropriety or conflict of interests. But when he resigned, like he immediately went back to Quantico for more training. And apparently he'd already had training in Quantico in like 2012. So now he's just like this unemployed guy with all this FBI training, twiddling his thumbs. I don't think so. Like, what's he doing with all that FBI training? Like, why did he want to go get more training? I don't think he's an FBI agent. But also, Sheriff Ledbetter also went to Quantico for FBI training at some point. And he seems like an incompetent fool. Like he was grandfathered in because his granddad was a sheriff. And I don't remember if his dad was. But I mean, he just seems like such a buffoon. Like at first I felt sorry for him because I thought he just kind of got caught up in this mess and that he didn't know how to handle it. But I think it's more sinister than that. I think that these people have a long history with the capes and the burning crosses and that kind of thing. For sure, Big Hook. Sounds like you telling your life story there, Jazz Homicidal Detective. You need to see this. Have you ever seen it was a Hulu series called Chance. It was only 4 seasons long. It was so good. Have you guys seen it? I used to recommend it all the time. I was like obsessed with it. That and Bloodline, which was on Netflix, which another mini series that was really good. And then I found that other mini series more recently, Sharp Objects. We haven't talked about that one in a while. Really good stuff. Really well done. The Homicidal Detective. And that's the problem is you do get a lot of people in law enforcement that learn how to be criminals. I mean, isn't that like Dexter? That I haven't really gotten into that Dexter series. It seems good, but I just haven't gotten into it. But I think that's that whole premise is like, isn't he like a pathologist and then he's a serial unaliver, but he knows how to do it and not get caught because of his profession? Surrounding yourself with incompetent idiots gives you lots of people to blame. Well, and like the Trumpster fire says, then it makes you look not so stupid. If you're surrounding yourself with all these brilliant people and you're a dumbass, it's going to be more obvious. But if you're a dumbass and you surround yourself with dumbasses, then you can just pretend it's all okay, right? How can anything be insured on an island like that? Well, I would think that there's some corrupt way to do it, right? I don't know. I mean, some situations like that, you can't get insurance. But like when I lived in Malibu, California, there were constantly beach houses getting wiped out by storms and they were all insured. And so it's like, you know. Um, it's like you have to have a lot of money to build it, but then when it gets wiped out, then you build a nicer one because of the insurance money. Um, hope your husband isn't Dexter Morgan. No, he's not. But yeah, he's he's a good egg. He's been in the field for like 20 years. It's kind of getting to him. But he's good. He does a lot of training. He keeps up with stuff. He does a lot of reading. He likes to he's got a bachelor's degree and he's a scientist by training. But he likes to be very well educated about things. So um, he's got more of an intellectual perspective, and he hasn't even investigated very many homicides. I mean, most departments, unless you're in like inner city, you're not investigating very many homicides. Um, but there is a very high incidence of divorce with law enforcement, very high, higher than national average, and a super high level of cheating, not just with the law enforcement officers, but the spouses too. A lot of cheating. And I mean, military is like that too, because you're separated so much. So it kind of lends itself to that. But, I mean, a lot of cops just abuse the power of the badge and manipulate community members into um, SMEX favors and crap like that. Or, cops hook up with other cops. I mean, a lot of them like to get their rocks off on duty because then they're getting paid while they're having fun, but it's really bad for business. And it gets you fired really quickly because people figure it out, but it just happens all the freaking time. It's ridiculous. People, keep it in your pants, right? um let's see. Being put in a wine cellar, maybe. Who's being put in a wine cellar? What did I miss? How long ago was that? That was, man, I'm so far behind. Okay. We've been on for over an hour. I probably shouldn't do this to you guys when I'm half asleep. Should probably wind down soon. Unless it's fun when I'm all punchy. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of fun for me, but it's also kind of annoying because I'm just like sleepy. And I do have to get up early for my daughter's soccer game. Not super early, but I have to get her to the school kind of early. The game's not until 10, but I have to get her there at like, what, 8, I think, because it's an away game. No, maybe not. Maybe not 8. I can't remember. She'll wake me up. Anyway, but Patrick is my favorite. I'd say that Sandy's my favorite, the squirrel. Isn't she a cop? Isn't the Sandy the squirrel the cop? Wasn't FEMA funds misappropriated during Katrina? Oh, I bet it was, Annabise. Let's ask AI. Let's ask the A1 sauce. Oh, dang it. Where's dang it, Nancy? I mean, I bet they get misappropriated all the time. That's just government and money, always with the misappropriation of funds. Um, let's see. Were the FEMA funds misappropriated in Hurricane Katrina? In Ocean Shores? But he might have been in Biloxi for all I know. He might have worked right there in Biloxi, right where it was. No, there's no record of Hurricane Katrina FEMA funds being misappropriated in Ocean Shores. But I'm going to take off the in Ocean Shores and I'm going to do that minus AI thing. Wait, let's try it again. Were FEMA funds misappropriated in Hurricane Katrina? And then minus AI. Hurricanes Katrina and Rita disaster relief, improper and potentially fraudulent individual assistance payments estimated to be between 600 million and 1.4 billion. Wow. And isn't that funny that it said no, but that was also because I said specifically Ocean Shores. And then if the people that did the thievery are the same people who are manipulating the Google, then of course it's going to say no. So you have to ask it different ways and then do that minus AI thing. That's a lot of money, especially for back then, for 20 years ago. 600 million to 1.4 billion. I mean, that's always a lot of money, right? But I mean, we've only been getting into the billions more recently. I mean, it hasn't even been that long that we've been speaking in millions. I mean, it was thousands up until what, like probably around the 70s is when millions first started. And now billions is just really taken off. And then we're just like jumping to the trillions because we got freaks running things, just greedy mofos. Okay. So yeah, Anna B. So Jazz, what's the secret to sleeping with one eye open? Am I sleeping with one eye open? Or you mean because I live with Dexter? No, if anybody was going to be doing the unaliving, it'd probably be me because, I was raised by a crazy homicidal maniac myself. But no, I don't roll like that. I could never do anything like that. I could talk about it. I mean, my husband and I used to talk about it a lot early in our marriage. Not about doing anything to each other, but other people that annoyed us. And we'd be like, but what would we do with the body? Like that was always the stopping point. Well, how would we dispose of the evidence? I shouldn't admit this, right? Because then if anything ever happens to him, these videos are going to be used against me in a court of law, huh? Let's see. Big hook, excessive flatulence. So yeah, I love it when some of the content creators that are covering the Nolan Wells case talk about Bart and they call him Fart. I still think he's the center of it all. I really do. Is it Bart's dad that was put on an administrative leave from the hospital that he works at right after Nolan disappeared or showed up deceased? And then they've tried really hard to keep that under wraps. So if you try to Google it, it'll say, no, that's not true. But there's multiple sources that say that it is true. And then he put up that $50,000. No, it wasn't Bart's dad that put up the 50,000. It was Warren's dad that put up the 50,000. But I don't think he's still doing that. Or if he is, it is separate from the 125,000 that Al Sharpton and a famous person with the last name Perry. Who are the people that put up the money for the reward? Let me ask AI. Who are the people that put up the reward money for finding out what happened to Nolan Wells? Terrell Owens, Tyler Perry, and Al Sharpton offer $125,000. So I think it started with Al Sharpton's 50,000 that was matched by Tyler Perry. I'm not sure, but anyway, a week ago, their GoFundMe for Nolan's family was at 850,000, and then so yeah, Tyler Owens is an NFL Hall of Famer, so that's interesting, just because of the whole football thing, like with Bart and with Nolan. And it was really weird, the wording that Warren's dad used was like $50,000 for information leading to the arrest of the killer. So by him putting up that reward, he was finally admitting that there was not a drowning. And but it's almost like it's disappeared, because then right after that was when the boys put up their Give Send Go account, and then they're like pretending to be Nolan's friends. That's how they're advertising their fundraising thing. They're like, oh, support Nolan's friends. And then you have tap dancing Race Batum Tatum saying, oh, if you're looking for someone to support these guys because they're all honest and everything. It's like, people aren't just looking for someone to support. People are looking for justice and truth and transparency, honesty, integrity. Race Batum Tatum and all the people associated with him have none of that. Like goose egg, zilch. Yeah, it's just disgusting, these people. And the gaslighting. Like, shouldn't gaslighting be a crime in and of itself? Shouldn't you be able to put somebody in jail for gaslighting? Come on. We're trying to have a civilization here, right? So you two, LOL, marriage of deviance. I'm off to bed. Just wanted to stop in, say hi, and drop a like. Have a great night, everyone. Well, thank you, Jolie. And while I'm remembering, if anybody wants to support the channel, there's the Cash Apps that I always put in the description after the video. They're in the description of every single video. What is it? Like Venmo and Cash App and Buy Me a Coffee. And they're also on the description of my channel. And then of course there's like the memberships, and then there's also like the super chat sticker things. So your presence is very appreciated, but if anyone feels like it, I'd be most grateful. But I'm grateful of your guys's time and attention, so thanks. It's the best. Anna B says, good night, Jolie. Good night, CASHAPP. Dexter is a blood splatter expert. Oh, thank you, Anna B's. Yeah, the one of the Dexters that I remember seeing part of, he was like putting down a blue tarp on his living room floor and then inviting somebody onto the blue tarp, and then she realized what was going on. Like, oh, come over here, stand in the middle of the blue tarp. And she did, and then she's like, wait, what the? It was too late. It was too late. His dad taught him how to do and get away with it. Ew. Qualified immunity needs to be ended, and settlements come from police pensions. Yeah, it gets really screwy. I mean, there needs to be some qualified immunity for some things, but people abuse it, of course. It's awful. Wine cellar for storing Nolan. Ooh, at the house. Because I was thinking in the boat where they put the fish under the deck. Oh, that's disgusting, Annabes. Wow. I mean, this is the theory, is that I shared this with you guys in the last video. The theory that I have evolved up until this point in time is that they dragged it out, that they tortured him, that they didn't completely unalive him. And it might even fit in with the nitrous oxide. Josh has that fixation on the nitrous oxide. I'm curious why you have the fixation on the nitrous oxide, but it would fit in with my theory potentially of them wanting to incapacitate him to get him to land where they could then do a ritual, typical triple K kind of thing. We all know what that is. We don't need to say it. but that they wanted to save, they didn't want it to happen until then. But then maybe the whole damn it Bart thing was that something happened sooner, like that they were supposed to just be able to capture him and incapacitate him and get him there. But then Bart might have done something. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but it seems pretty apparent. I mean, the whole thing with the CTO call. And so now the CTO call company has been subpoenaed. All of their training, all of their training is subpoenaed, and all of their calls from 2 in the afternoon that day of the 4th of July all the way until 8 at night, not just their distress calls, but all of their internal communication. Yeah. But I thought that was really wise to get the training. So you can say, well, if this is the training, then how come it was handled like this? You know? Cops are never your friends. Psychopaths who figured out you can get away with red rum if you have a badge and a gun and know how to take circumstances to use lethal force. Yeah, I know. I know a police chief who, during his tenure, the red rum rate, or let's say the passing away rate was 3 times the national average. It was him. It was him. And there were just a lot of natural, accidental, self-inflicted misadventures going on. A lot. It was like every day, it seemed like. Yes, they are thieves. If you have a badge and a gun and know how to fake circumstances to use lethal force. Well, and they always do that thing where it's like, oh, the 911 call that was being recorded had a glitch in it, or the surveillance camera had a glitch in it, the body cam footage had a glitch in it, the car cam, dash cam glitch. Always with the glitches. They never hand over the truth. I wonder what's happening with that case with Sandra Birchmore up in Braintree, Massachusetts area, Canton, Massachusetts. That girl and that young woman, her early 20s, that was dating that Matt. What was his name? Starts with an F. Him and his evil twin brother, kind of like Austin Metcalf and his evil twin brother. Matt Farwell is the cop that was arrested for taking her life after impregnating her. Status update with Sandra Birchmore's murder and Matthew Farwell's trial. 3 days ago, Matthew Farwell defense says Sandra Birchmore died by suicide. But did that really happen 3 days ago? Because it seems like a lot of times Google will tell you that stuff that was, because it's just trying to make it look like it's real current. Because that would be weird that was 3 days ago and that all of a sudden it's coming to my mind. I don't know if that's accurate, but it's obvious that it wasn't that. I mean, this might just be a bogus fake article. It wasn't that. There's videotape footage of him going in and out of the apartment. Freak. But that whole thing, that was really sad. Really sad. And some of those same cops that cross-pollinate into the Karen Reed trial with John O'Keefe, was that the boyfriend of Karen Reed, that obviously his freaking friends did to him what Nolan's friends did to him and what Kylie's friends did to her. All these people and their effing parties, man. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Okay, we're getting caught up. Tyler Perry, yeah. Um, yes, they are thieves. Good. Oops, they are rare and often forced out to maintain the thin blue line code of silence. Well, yeah, the way they all stand together when somebody's done something bad is fucked up, because it destroys the integrity of the uniform. You can't do that, you gotta let the ones go that are gonna abuse their power. You just gotta hang them out to dry, leave them on their own, or it's gonna drag down the whole thing. Big hook, that big blue line is real. That, yeah, I call it you said the blue line. Yeah, I call it the thin blue line. Cops regularly don't de-escalate because they want resistance and don't care about consequences of their actions. I agree that there's a lot like that, but I would say more than half do de-escalate. I mean, that's what they do all day, every day. That's what they're trained to do. But there are certainly some that escalate. Absolutely. And some of it is because they're stupid, and some of it is because they get a charge out of it. Again, the drama llama. Big hook, yeah, that happens too much. Like I said, they are opportunistic criminals looking to ruin your life as opposed to the fiction of to protect and serve. There's a lot. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of police officers are young men that have not enough life experience. They're not even completely formed in their frontal lobe if they're under 25, and they're given a gun and a badge and a license to kill ill, and it's ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people that do it are the last people that should do it. Like, they're the last people that should have a gun and a badge and a license to ill. So yeah, I agree overall, generally. And yeah, it's messed up. It is nice that there are some good ones. There really are. Trust me. No, I'm just kidding. When someone says trust me, never trust them, right? Andy Griffith was a myth. Wasn't he the Mayberry guy? The Mayberry cops are the worst. The yeah, Barney Fife, Mayberry, Keystone Cop. I mean, there's a lot of those. And see, that's what I thought that guy, Sheriff Ledbetter, was at first. I thought he was just like a Keystone Cop, Barney Fife, Mayberry. But no, I think he's a douchebag and a half and up to no good. Absolutely. I mean, see, up front, I thought he's just naive because he said so quickly, oh, there's, no suspicion of any foul play. And it's like, no, you're too quick. You can't say that quickly. You really can't. Like, you have to wait a day. You have to see if things check out. And that takes a minute. So when he said that up front, I thought he was just being stupid. But then the more I learned about the case, it's like, oh, yeah, he is stupid, but he wasn't being stupid. He was being sinister. He thought he could cover it up like that. It's like, dude, no, you have to wait a day, then say there's no suspicion of any foul play. But no, you gave yourself away. It's almost like he wanted to give himself away. The one thing I want to say about this case before I forget is that I really think that Bart and Wyatt and those other boys, I think it's kind of a war of who's going to take the fall, because they're all in on it. And I think that Bart and Wyatt are kind of hiding in the background, and then you've got Jax and Warren and what's his brother's name? Morgan, his stepbrother, Warren's stepbrother, Morgan, I think. the three that are on the Race Batum Tatum interviews. So I think that those five people are the most involved, and then there's other people that are involved too, like Trayston, um, and even Javon. I mean, I don't think Javon did anything, but he knows more, and he just can't say it. Like, he's probably saying it to behind the scenes to the detectives. Um, I think a lot of people know a lot of things. Katie, obviously the parents, but I think the parents are involved. I think that there are parents out there. It sounds like Grandpa Jerry might have even been out there, and that's, you know, I mean, the girls are being very protected. The parents are being very protected. The boys are like the ones that are out in the front, but then the powers that be are protecting them. But somebody's going to have to take the fall. Somebody. And that's why I'm afraid that they're going to do something like somebody's going to get set up to be the one to take the fall, like that Adam Pazinski in the Crystal and Kylan Schulte, Crystal Turner, Kylan Schulte case, the double homicide in Moab when Gabby Petito, that whole thing, that couple. And then that they had that guy Adam, it wasn't Pazinski, but it was something like that. And then a few months later, they're like, oh yeah, he did it, and now he's deceased. We figured out who did it, but he's dead. And I just feel like they're going to do that with one of these boys. That one of these boys is going to get like the losing lottery ticket and have to take the fall. And then they're going to be like, yeah, well, he did that to himself because he left this note, says he did the whole thing. He did the whole red rum. God, just the way the boys talk about it in their interviews with Tatum when they're like, if we're going to do a murder, like it's so casual. It's fucking weird. If we're going to do the murder, then we'll do it like this. We'll do it like that. We wouldn't do it in front of 1,000 people. We would have done it when we took him out there when there was less people. It's just like, it's very like cavalier and, what's the word? Like, the hubris. Yeah, the hubris. Very nonchalant. That's a good word for it. Okay, now that I'm thinking of words, it's a good time to wrap up, to get caught up with you guys. I have not looked at my notes at all, have I? I don't think I have at all. Anyway, I'm going to prioritize being caught up, then look at the notes. The cops are the last people you should ever call. There's a lot of people who believe that, and I understand why a lot of people believe that. Absolutely. But see, the cops also, when you call 911, they're always suspicious of you because a lot of the criminals are the ones who make the 911 calls. So that's why they're always so weird. They're like, are you sure? What really happened? How do you know? What did you see exactly? Well, where were you? What, like they, it sounds like they're badgering you and they're being jerks, but it's because they get a lot of weirdos making the calls that have committed the crimes. Let's see. Their solve rates are next to zero these days, and often the people they catch are the wrong ones. Wow, Big Hook. I don't have that same perspective, but I understand why you do. And I think that a lot of times they want to call things natural, accidental, self-inflicted misadventure because not calling it that takes a lot of work and a lot of time, and they get paid the same either way. So, that laziness. Ugh. But if it's their boss who's behind it and they know that, then they're also going to want to take that easy way out. Let's see. The wrong one's and usually the one that they set up for it. Absolutely. I completely agree with that. I think a lot of people in prison are the ones who took the fall. They might have been part of it, like with Koberger, for example, in the Idaho 4. I always figured that he was part of a big police thing, that he worked for Pullman, and that they made him the fall guy, and he didn't know that that was happening. So, but then if you're in a situation like that, you can't not play along, because you might end up unaliving yourself in prison, or your family might get run off the road, or I mean, you just can't affiliate yourself with people like that, whether they're in law enforcement or not. It's like, it's so mobster. But one of the things that, like, Billy E. Darling always talked about with the Kylie Rodney case, and what she said sports, I think, is the only one that I've heard talking about it with the Nolan Wells case, is that it's RICO. It's organized crime. If it's what we think it is, it's organized crime, and you got to get the RICO Act out. Okay, where was I? They are using AI and flock cameras to do their work. Your privacy is meaningless today. Flock camera errors are everywhere. The lady in Florida was on the hook for red rum, and her truck impounded. I don't know if that's the same one that I saw, somebody who spent 2 weeks in jail for like a hit and run, and it wasn't her. But she had a little tiny baby that was less than a year old. So she was separated from the baby for like 2 weeks. She was in jail. It was really bad. I generally try to find 3 separate sources with the same information if possible. Absolutely, Josh sees. And yeah, I mean, even if I'm Googling it, because Google's full of crap too. Yes, John O'Keefe. Thank you, Annabise. Cops face temptation every day and pocket rug money, assets, and vehicles at auction. Oh my God, yeah, the evidence room. Yeah, like people who manage the evidence room, because there can be cash in there too. There's probably almost always cash in the evidence room, and probably lots of it. Oh, I know Big Hook. I've known some that did. He was used to saying that so quickly. Oh, the thing about no suspicion of any foul play. It's like, rule out any foul play, any unattended death. First thing is you rule out any foul play. And if he would have said that, if he would have said, we're ruling out foul play, there doesn't appear to be any evidence of it. But no, he just said, there's no evidence of any foul play. It's just like, if he would have said it more better, he wouldn't have sounded like such a corrupt mofo. But again, at first, I thought he was just a Barney Fife. I thought he was just a doofus, because he is a doofus, but he's also a corrupt doofus. Your husband must hate me, Jazz, for speaking the truth. No, he's aware. He lives in the real world. And yeah, he's on our side. Don't worry. AI is the greatest tool of criminals today. It's dangerous to answer your phone. My eyes are getting bleary. Or read or reply to a text. Cops are not up to the task. The surveillance shit they use on everyone is the end of us. The harsh truth, man. Am I caught up almost? Am I? Billionaires using AI to eliminate our jobs and arm the scammers. No liability attributed to these AI companies. Yeah, the AI is ridiculous. It needs to be controlled. It's so out of control. So so we are at an hour 43. My vision is not the best at the moment. Let me see if I use this little light thing, I can read my notes better, because I'm just starting to see double. Morgan, in the interview with Ray Spadum, at one point says, "Did you see anything? Blah, blah, blah." He actually used the term blah 3 times in a row, talking about Nolan's death. "Did you see anything? Blah, blah, blah." And I was like, that's not appropriate. Blah, blah, blah. But didn't NK in the interview, in that 3 hour and 33-minute interview, didn't she do the blah, blah, blah at one point? Or maybe even at 2 different times in the Watts case? I'm not sure. So what else do I want to talk about before we wrap up? Oh man. The weaponizing of Nolan's death against his parents. That's all these mofos have done. And when I say mofos, I'm talking about the boys that try to pretend that they were Nolan's friends. And they constantly are weaponizing Nolan's death against his mom, against his dad. Again, they're giving themselves away. And for that, we can thank them. Right. Big Hook says billionaires using AI to eliminate our jobs and arm the scammers. No liability attributed to these AI companies. It's true. Civil forfeiture laws are the cops' latest scam used. I think that explains some stuff that I've seen, Big Hook. Yeah, tell me more about that. George Bush makes this dystopian nightmare. You find yourselves with war criminal consequences for the rest of us via the hypervigilance. Yeah, I was not a fan of that, man. I'm pretty sure NK did say blah 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 at least once, maybe more than once. Blah blah blah. Yeah, we'll have to get that part. Because yeah, I just noticed it like yesterday with who did I say it was? I wrote down which one it was. I think it was there it is at the top of that page. One sec. It was Morgan Seymour who said it. So yeah, his mom was out there on the island. Morgan's mom, Katie Hudson Seymour. So she's his stepmom, and she is Warren's biological mom. And Warren even said he tried to call her 8 times, and she was on the other side of the island. But now we know that they own land on the other side of the island, because the part that the government sold to private entities is the part that's more exposed. So the part that they party on is like the inside part that has like less turbulent water, but it's the other side where they sold some of the land. So that's where Warren said his mom was when he was trying to call her the 8 times. And yeah, what did he need to talk to her so bad about? And why did she avoid his call? Why wasn't she taking his call? It's all very nuts. So yeah, it's getting really hard for me to read. My glasses, my eyes are getting blurry there. That helps. I'm pretty sure NK, yeah, she needs to put back in her Invisalign. It is time. We're getting there. Fear motivates lots of hate crimes and jealousy. But yeah, fear that these people are going to take your job. They're going to take your resources. They're going to take your wife. They're going to take your land. They're going to take everything from you. And it's greed too. Just wanting more of the resources. Like, people are just nuts. There's enough to go around. Come on, get over it. Those having lost nothing couldn't be bothered. Not my child, so who gives an F? Yeah, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Let's see. Oh, and so Natalie Harp wasn't vetted for like the first year she was hanging out with the president. That's more evidence that she's a honeypot, that she was planted there. So her dad unalived himself right before she kind of fell into the arms of the Trumpster fire. Her dad knew the Trumpster fire. Her dad unaliving himself makes me wonder. And he was a doctor, and I think he was 61 when he passed away at his house, I think. And then Natalie and her mom wanted to say that it was like a heart attack or something when it was self-inflicted. But her brother keeps interviewing. He keeps speaking out. He seems like a very reasonable and decent individual. And he wasn't willing to like lie to the family and everybody and say and go along with that lie. So he's been estranged from them ever since. And then he wasn't really paying attention. He didn't realize that Natalie was doing what she was doing until more recently, when she kind of, became higher profile and we all started to like know her name, was when he realized what she was up to. And he's just like the rest of us, thinks that she's completely insane. But, she said she had cancer and that Trump saved her life because he allowed her to, try some new drug. I don't even believe that she had cancer. I did a lot of research. I didn't find anything that said she was lying about it, but none of what she says aligns with actual factual medical stuff. And like the medication that she was using, that she said Trump saved her life because he let her use the stuff that she wouldn't have been able to use if it wasn't for his amazingness. But it's not true. It was a medicine that had been around for a long time. It wasn't like a new thing. And then also she said that when she was in her cancer treatment, that some practitioner like giving her an injection, like, I don't know if they put water in her with a needle accidentally or air, according to her, but then she was like super sick for a year. And I don't know that that's true either. I think she's shady AF. And I'm worried about what really happened to her dad. And especially how she went from like right after he passed away, she was like on the campaign trail with Trumpster Fire, spewing all this stuff about her illness and how he saved her life. And I mean, how amazing he is. And he's like God and Jesus and everything else. It's all very weird and very uncomfortable. But yeah, her dad was tight with business stuff with Trump. He had like that hotel hub computer thing, but he's a doctor. Okay. Let's see. What else? I have a couple more pages of notes, but I don't know if I can handle anything else. This is a quote of what she said sports that's freaking brilliant. Carmelo survived what Nolan could not. So Carmelo Anthony was basically jumped by the twins. And I think there was more than just the two of them. But Nolan was basically jumped by these people. So Carmelo survived what Nolan did not, but as the one that survived it, then he has to spend 35 years in jail because of a corrupt racist system. So they won that part of their appeal, getting a new judge the day before yesterday. And the judge that they got off the case, I think his name is Roach, Judge Roach, which nobody's really made fun of yet because, we're adults here, right? But what a perfect name. And then, so they have a new judge, and now they're trying to appeal for a new trial. So the new judge has until Monday. Monday, he's going to make a determination if Carmelo Anthony gets a new trial. And it seems like he will. I hope he does. I mean, I don't know that he should even get charged with manslaughter. I think it was self-defense, and if it's self-defense, I don't think you get charged. I mean, maybe you do, but because technically, there's all the technicalities. Like maybe you're charged with manslaughter, but with self-defense. Like I'd have to talk to my husband to know the terminology of it all. But I don't think he should get sentenced. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I got to know more about it. He did not know, he did not intend to unalive anybody. He did not know that Austin was not alive. And right after he did it, he ran straight to his coach and was like, oh my God. And it's all on videotape. So he tells his coach what happened, and then the cops arrive, and he walks right up to the cops and is like, I'm the one you're looking for. But then I think he asked the cops, like, is he okay? Like he had no idea that it was fatal. Um, so oh, Ashley Cole, the judge, she married into the wealthiest family in that area. Trehorn, I think, is the last name. So she really moved up in the stature of her judgeship on that name. And they're tight with MAGA, of course. And she doesn't use her husband's name, Ben Hudson. She doesn't use his name at all. So her name was Ashley Cole Trehorn, and then she still kind of uses the Trehorn. And the Trehorn family, it's fascinating stuff. Like, I think that's the right name. Let me see. Let me double check it. Ashley Cole, Judge Ashley Cole Trehorn. Let's see. Ashley Cole. Ex-husband. I need to do the minus AI thing, don't I? I think I do. I'm so glad that our friend Billy Darling shared that. And where is she? I can't say goodnight until she shows up, right? Judge Ashley Cole, ex-husband, minus AI. It's weird. It's not. It's like talking about all this other stuff. What? It's talking about this X Factor crap. I don't want to know anything about the X Factor crap. in Ocean Shores. Or not Ocean Shores, it's Ocean Springs, right? I got the kitty cat scratching at the door. Okay. Kitty cat, I mean puppy dog. Stop! Cheese ball. Judge Ashley Cole, ex-husband in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. And then minus AI. It does not want to tell me. It's funny. It does not want to tell me. Remember what I said about how the people down there are intertwined with the people who do the Google stuff? It's trying to pretend like it says Ashley Cole is currently married to Dr. Benjamin Hudson. It's like, yeah, I know. I said ex-husband. Let's see. What was Judge Ashley Cole's name before she got a divorce from her ex-husband? And then do the minus AI. It's going to pretend it doesn't know. Yeah, it's still just like really fixated on her current husband. That is so funny. I'll have to do more research on it. I'm too tired to argue with AI. Okay, sorry. Where are we? Puppy dog. I'm gonna let her in real quick. 1 second, people. Come here, baby. Oh, it's you, Mookie. It's you. I thought it was Cheesy. Come here, honey pot. Oh, there's Cheese. And there's Coco. Come here, babies. Come here, Mookie. Come here, Cheese. Come here, Coco. Okay. We're like going on 2 hours. Sorry, you guys. I'm trying to wrap up. My brain is totally fried. So white privilege and group silence means no justice for Nolan Wells, unfortunately. And no, don't say that, Big Hook. I mean, I know that's a distinct possibility, but I think he's going to get justice. I know that's pie in the sky, but we're going to make it happen, damn it. They're not going to get away with this crap. His mom, his dad, Ben Crump, and the whole freaking nation. And I mean, it's international. It struck a chord. Nolan, I think, kind of like Kylie Rodney, these really strong spirits that really kind of speak from the other side. Hoping for Kathy Bates' misery ending. Jazz, you make me laugh. Well, I'm glad. That's the goal. Oh my God, you know what? I'm just gonna put everything down and I'm gonna play you a little bit of here, let me turn that, put that there. I'm gonna play you something funny because we all need to laugh. The beginning of Reese Waters today was so good. It's so good. He's one of my favorites. Reese Waters. And it was about Natalie Harp stuff. And I'm just going to play it from the top because my brain's not functioning anyway. So there's no point in me talking. And then let's see. Video. Hmm. Do I need to look in my... Was it this? Yeah, it's this. It was 4 days ago. I thought it was today. That's how out of it I am. I'm just going to play it from the beginning.
This electric nail file specifically.
Let Reese Waters do the talking, because he got it going on. Oh, first of all, his friend wrote the song for his channel, and I love the song. They about to drag you.
In these comments. In these comments. In these comments. Whoa, they about to drag you. Hey. Caroline Levitt, stand up for yourself. Come on. You can't let your spot on the safety plane be taken by a diaper bag. It's a whole case of Huggies right where you supposed to be. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. And salute to everybody supporting the channel over at thepeoplesgetup.com. I'm Reese Waters, and this is Street Politics.
Thanks to President Trump and Republicans and common sense policies across the board, our country is safer, our country is more affordable.
For you to pay a tiny little bit more for your gasoline, just remember, you're doing it so that a very evil country cannot have... A country, really, it's the number one state sponsor of terror in the world. We don't want to have them have a nuclear weapon. So remember that when you have to pay a little bit more, you're at $4. It's okay. I mean, it's
okay.
I'll never apologize. I did the right thing.
No, it's not okay.
For White House press secretary and one of my most trusted aides, Caroline Levitt, will be departing her role at the end of the month so she can spend more time with her beautiful young children and family, a decision I totally understand and respect. Huh. Now that's odd timing. Right before the midterms?
Also, when you have a baby, it really pushes people's buttons. I think Trump was really triggered by her having a second baby and actually taking maternity leave. Because remember, she didn't take that maternity leave with the first one. She came right back because of the fake assassination.
And equally odd that y'all posted that injection photo alongside it. It's almost like you didn't mean none of that. Huh. Yeah, this decision is not tracking at all.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Breaking, Caroline Levitt quits as White House press secretary to take care of her elderly husband. Now that makes sense. That makes sense. I like that. You know what I mean? That's good family values. You should have somebody that you can depend on. Must be nice that Caroline Levitt can afford to stay home with her baby after working for an administration that made it harder for everyone else to afford the same effing choice. Now, that is true. That is definitely true. And if we're being honest, if we look all across the landscape of politics, we see people doing that very same thing. That is true. Now, that whole thing about taking care of her baby, that's not what I heard. I heard she went to take care of her elderly husband. Matter of fact, we can see right here, Caroline Levitt relaxes at home with her husband after resignation. They already...
You can't really see it. Sorry. It's a photograph of Natalie, or what was her name? The one who married the 80-year-old billionaire. Why am I spacing out on her name? The Playboy bunny.
Yeah, they already moved up. And don't they look like such a loving couple?
Yeah, we both have so much in common. We both love soup, and we love the outdoor.
Nicole Smith, not Natalie. Nicole Smith and her 80-year-old husband. That was what the photo was. So he was pretending it was Caroline Levitt and her husband.
We love snow peas.
This young woman is a hot mess. Married to an old man in his 60s. She's in her 20s. She has 2 babies now by a man 35 years older. She's a WEI hire, incompetent. No professional background, blonde, cute, bimbo, snarky, with a big cross around her neck. That's so Trump, Mar-a-Lago, Epstein vibes. Now, you was cooking there, so I didn't want to interrupt, but cute. The whole thing having 2 babies by a man 35 years older than her. It's shocking she ain't link up with Elon. You know what I mean? That gotta want to be one of the biggest upsets of the year right there. But, you know, are we doing baby or are we doing husband? It's both.
I love it. I think it's so funny. Like, she quit to take care of her elderly husband. So let me stay caught up with all your comments. Big Hook's making some good ones and completely accurate. Let's see. The size difference meant he was fighting for his life. And you're talking about Carmelo Anthony and the twins. And my brain, what Austin Metcalf. There we go. And I think his twin brother's name is Nathan Metcalf, if I'm remembering right. I think those boys were very big, despite the fact that they're twins. I think they're over 6 feet tall. And then Carmelo Anthony was really small, like maybe 5'9" and maybe like 160 pounds, if I'm remembering right. But maybe even smaller than 5'9". But yeah, outnumbered for sure. And okay, she is on a mission of distraction of her own theories and is constructing a red rum board with suspects and red yarn connections. Me? Are you talking about me, Big Hook? You could be. Am I the she? Scrubbing the internet is a project of the rich and lecherous. I know, but it's funny too. Like why does her ex not want to be connected to her? That's funny. Ashley Cole. I think the name is Trehorn. Like I said, I'll do some research on it. And like it's the same name, I think, if it's that same name as the folks in The Big Lebowski. I was going to check out the movie again too. You know, that really funny movie, The Big Lebowski, with Jeff Bridges. Okay, I need to show you guys the picture of me when I was 10 years old and I met Jeff Bridges right after he did the King Kong movie, the new King Kong with Jessica Lange. He was so sweet. He was so cute. I got a picture with him. He's wearing a Mickey Mouse t-shirt. Really, really nice guy. He was like 26 at the time and he'd only done the one movie. But anyway, we're back to this. We're going to keep up with what you're saying in the chat, and then we're going to sign off like we keep saying we're going to. Reese Witherspoon. Oh, good night, Anna Bees. And see, there's Billy. Now I can say good night. Billy's here. Billy, I was like, where are you? I need to say good night, and you're not here yet. That's so funny. Reese Witherspoon is a disappointment these days with her hyping of AI. She takes books and then makes screenplays and then produces and acts in them. Whoa, that's wild. And yeah, I like Reese Witherspoon. That's terrible if she's going wrong direction. Who wants to bet Trump has stock in Depends adult diapers? Well, yeah. I love the thing Reese Water says about the box of Huggies. There's big box of Huggies right where you're supposed to be. I'm going to play a little bit more of him too because he's so cute and funny. I betcha the decoy plane didn't go over well with Caroline. Love it. Yeah, and Caroline is a Karen. I just thought of that today. I'm like, how come I never thought of that before? Caroline is a Karen. Totally. Hey, darling, Anna Jazzy, Anna Nicole Smith. There you go, Big Hook. That's who. Yeah, I forgot the Anna part. Thank you. Okay, Billy is here, so time to say goodnight. Exactly. But then when Billy gets here, then it's like, party on, Garth. We don't want to say goodnight. Billy got here finally. So, Billy, I brought you up a minute ago where your ears burning because you were always talking about the RICO laws in the Kylie Rodney case. And I think we need the RICO laws applied here in the Nolan Wells case. If it's the, the Triple K clan crap, it's organized crime. It's the Dixie Mafia, right? And like the Truckee Mafia. I was asleep, LOL. I love the RICO Act for sure. Okay, let's play another minute of Reese Waters. I love me some Reese Waters.
I say, hold up, wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Nico, where's Grandpa? Caroline, that's your father. Nico, you're lying again. I mean, as long as there's a father figure in the home, I don't see why we got to be all specific about that. You know what I mean?
All specific.
I will tell you this. She's going to be very hard to replace. She's going to be very hard to replace. Very few people lie like that.
So true.
So true.
So true.
They're going to replace Caroline Levitt with Wednesday Addams.
We'll listen to the rest of what he has to say about this, and then we'll wrap it up. But, yeah, with Caroline Levitt, I was thinking about what Jasmine Crockett had said about Marjorie Taylor Greene about the bad butch body.
Be here, aren't they? What? I just told you she's going to be hard to replace. What are her qualifications? Dead inside. Well, that'll get you halfway there right there. That's dead inside is half the battle. And I believe she got a little bit of face recognition, too. I recognize her. I knew it. I had one of those on my Corolla. I knew I recognized it. I used to love that bobblehead. I really did. Is she the leader for real?
I need to be honest with you.
Oh, shut up.
Closing my jewelry shop is one of the hardest things.
Stupid ad.
The short list for press secretary is everyone you'd expect. Natalie Hart, Trump mistress. Spencer Pratt, washed up sore loser. Carrie Lake, washed up career loser. Mike Lindell, crack addict. And Scott Jennings, better when he was fat. And Erica Kirk. Man, that's quite a list, ain't it? It's quite a list. Hey, can Carrie Lake get back into politics after they renamed the reflecting pool after her? Huh. And Mike Lindell, I thought he had a soft landing after that L he took with all those pillows he got at home, but not if he come back to press secretary. And I can't think of anybody that has handled press worse than Erica Kirk. I can't wait for this train wreck. Matter of fact, while we speaking of train wrecks, ain't y'all forgetting somebody?
I am probably the president's #1 fan.
Nicki Minaj will replace Caroline Levitt as the new White House press secretary at the end of the month via deadline. Now we're talking right there. Now we're talking right there. And honestly, I don't think she would be that bad because she's used to defending them type of people. So I get it. I totally get that.
I done the math. Checks out.
According to a White House source, Caroline Levitt quit her job so suddenly the Trump administration has no plans to fill the position ahead of the midterms. What? Y'all not going to have no press secretary ahead of the midterms, so y'all just going to give up on the messaging? Kind of like you did before the 2024 election when you just started dancing the YMCA. And that actually worked. So I can't even poo-poo that. But that's not what I heard.
I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time.
The White House has announced that Cersei Lannister will be taking over for Caroline Levitt starting today. Now, she would fit right in. She would fit right in with that relationship she had with Jamie, not to mention she was so weird with Joffrey. So that one tracks for me. But let's get back to the Caroline Levitt of it all. For those keeping score, Kristi Noem out, Pam Bondi out, Tulsi Gabbard out, Caroline Levitt out. Carrying water for the patriarchy will never earn you a seat at the effing table. You would have thought they would have learned. You would have thought they would have learned. How's that Pam Bondi disbarring situation going? Well, she just biding her time working with Pam Bondi down there at the. Yeah, I seen them down there. I seen them down there. Escapades Gentlemen's Club, come meet our new dancers, Fantasia and Cinnamon. Only 2 trips to the buffet per visit. But Kristi, no, I think she might be quitting though. She might be quitting because I heard she's, they gave her a statue and everything in South Dakota. So yeah.
Oh my God.
By the way, put in a couple orders for them Tulsi Gabbard t-shirts. No, because I got merch. I want to see how good a quality they got. Yeah, you got your t-shirt business. You go ahead and sell you some merch. You're going to be all right. Well, look on the bright side, Caroline Levitt. At least you have all of the goodwill and loyalty that Trump has shown his first administration to lean on for what you're going to get after the door hits you on the way out.
To come here.
We'll stop the video there. I'll put a link to it in the description if you want to watch the rest of it. He's so cute and funny. I love him. He's just keeps me in stitches. But yeah, my favorite part of that whole thing was dead inside. That's like the main characteristic. That's your first qualification for the job, to be the speaker for the president, is dead inside. Just, that sounds about right. So, what's up, Cheese? Come here, baby. Oh, so much sibling rivalry. Come here, Mookie. Come here, baby. Come here. Come on. What? You guys, come here. Come on. Cheesy. Who's going to come up? Come here. Mookie. I'm afraid Mookie will freak out and bite me. Come here, Cheesy. Come here. Come here. Come here, Cheesy. Oh. We got ferocious. Oh. Mookie's being all jealous, all jelly. There's the big fur ball. Isn't she funny? She's like a big old Muppet. Look at the baby girl. She's a big old Muppet. Look at her. She's just all fur. We need to put a barrettes in her hair or something. Oh, Mookie, chill, baby girl. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm gonna duck out of here. I'm gonna read the rest of your awesome comments, and thanks so much. It's so nice to see you, Billy, darling. I'm just really tired tonight, and I've been on for 2.5 hours, and me brain is mush. It's just like mashed potatoes. Love the Rico act for sure. Bad build, bad hair, butch body. Yeah, that's Caroline. Caroline the Karen. Yes. Love me some Jasmine Crockett. I wish she would have won Texas Senate. I knew. What you gonna do? She is awesome. Primary. She's getting so big. Oh yeah, little cheese ball. She is. She's almost 2 years old. So yeah, she's been full grown for a while, but her hair's growing too, so she looks even bigger. And she eats a lot. So she's a little chow hound. I mean, she's a puppy. She's a growing girl, right? Yeah. Such cutie pies. Well, you guys are the best. There's a black heart for you. I think there was one other thing I wanted to add before saying nighty night. What was it? So Ashley Cole's ex-husband is like the wealthiest family in the area. Let's see. I'm going to try asking this way. What is the rich family in The Big Lebowski? I don't know. It's Trehorn. Trehoon. Maybe Trehoon? What is the wealthy legacy family in Ocean Shores Springs? Always call it Ocean Shores. That's in Washington State. Oh, the Legacy family, the wealthy Legacy family in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, that Judge Ashley Cole had been married into when she first ran for judge. And then I'm going to do the minus AI thing, Billy. I've been doing that, the minus AI. But the AI just does not want to give it up. It really doesn't. It's holding on tight to that name. I think it's Trehorn. Trehorn. Yeah, Trehern. I finally got it, man. Mississippi Chancery Court Judge Ashley Cole, originally practicing under her married name, Ashley Cole Trehern, was married into the Trehern family when she first ran for office in 2022. Oh, so that was very recent. Trehorns are an established affluent family on the Mississippi Gulf Coast with deep roots in Jackson County and Ocean Springs, where they operate local businesses and philanthropic entities like the Trehern Charitable Foundation. After her divorce, she reverted to using her maiden name professionally and later remarried. Well, she didn't wait too long because, it's only 2026 now. She was still married to him 4 years ago. So, the background of the Trehern family's prominent local businesses. Yeah, we'll check that out more next time. But now I'm kind of getting a second wind. But let's just use it to say goodnight, right? Thanks so much for watching, you guys. It's always so fun to see you all. And thank you, Anna, for encouraging me to go live instead of doing yoga, because I really didn't want to do the yoga. I was feeling like I should because I don't think I got any exercise today. And I like to get exercise every day if possible. I mean, whether it's walking, riding a bike, doing the yoga, swimming, something. And it's okay to skip a day sometimes, right? I'm allowed. But yeah, I love my yoga too. It's just when I'm tired, it's not so good. Especially like I'll start to like fall asleep towards the end, when I do a meditation at the end of it. I'm like, I have to wake up to finish out the last couple of things. Too funny. Okay. Yeah. I wonder if Ashley is Megan's cousin. Who's Megan Cole? That name rings a bell. Oh, that MC Ultra. Yeah. That another similarity with two cases. We've got these Cole Ultra chicks that are trying to control the narrative. So Megan Cole is who hooked up Scammy with American Dreamcatcher, and Ashley Cole is who hooked up Warren and his bros with Race Batum Tatum. Too funny, man. Now Ashley Cole needs to come out into the streets of YouTube and try to control us all, right? Try to befriend us and come into our panels and then talk smack about us. We loved Megan, didn't we? Oh my God, she was the worst. And she'd be drunk driving and talking on the freaking panels and telling us that she was drunk driving. Like, this is not a rocket scientist. Not a rocket scientist. But they both had kids involved. I mean, MC Ultra's kid was Scammy's best friend, and then Ashley Cole's kid And how involved were Ashley and Megan? How much more did Megan know? Remember, there was like the whole theory about Megan maybe having a garage that she might have let them store Kylie in. And maybe was it you, Annabise, that said maybe Ashley Cole had a wine storage area where they could put Nolan? Okay, and that's just brain melting, isn't it? But no, I mean, why are these people going to go out into the streets of YouTube and be all involved and go out on social media and make these stupid statements and try to make excuses and try to cover for these kids unless they're guilty, basically? Just say it, right? Morgan gave them advice on how to cover up Red Rum. Did she really, Annabise? I believe you because you followed that case so close. Did I say Morgan when you wrote Megan? Megan gave them advice on how to cover up Red Rum. Well, see, that's what I wonder with the boys with Nolan, if they got advice from the elders that know more about these things because they've done it before. If it was like an initiation thing and it's like, okay, now you're screwing up, we got to give you some tips, right? It is always good to talk with everyone. It is it's the best. I know I don't like skipping nights, but sometimes I have to. And then, when school starts up and there's more structure, I always do better with more structure. So she was terrible. Yes, I said that about the wine cellar. Yeah, thank you. I couldn't even think of that word, wine cellar. I was thinking wine basement. It's a wine cellar. Okay, very good. I was just kidding. Oh, were you? Truth to every joke, right? Were you kidding? Because, I didn't realize you were kidding, and I was thinking it's a possibility. I don't know what's making you think that, but sure, anything's possible. Yes, the elder gave them advice. Absolutely. Like the uncle grandpas, man. They're all about the uncle grandpas. All right, I'm going to sign off. Short and sweet. Thanks again for being here, and drink your water, eat your protein, take care of yourself, and most importantly, just be yourself. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Thanks again.